I don't know.
Jenkins is one of the open source tool. It is easy to use because it reduces pipelines and this integration look and then
Yes. Jenkins is one of the open source tool. Okay. Apart from Jenkins, we are having other tools like Bamboo, Travis CI, and Hudson. So these are also like open source tool which will behave same as Jenkins. In Jenkins, we are saying it is a CI/CD and CI/CD in concept we will be having in Jenkins. Okay, so what is the CI and what is the CD?
Continuous
Continuous
integration,
Integration and
integration
continuous
and continuous development.
development or
deployment. Deployment.
Delivery.
Continuous deployment.
Okay,
Deployment. Yeah.
this CD has a lot of words actually. Continuous delivery, we can say. Continuous deployment, we can say. Continuous development, we can say. In this way, for CD we have, but actually we have to use a continuous delivery or continuous deployment and continuous integration. So we as a tester will mainly take the part of CI, which is continuous integration. Okay, now what is what is actually the meaning of integration? Integration is combining two things, right? For example, I'm writing one code for login page. That is done. I'm moving towards a second test case, like I have to search something. That is also done. Now I will combine those two things and I will see whether it is working fine or not. So that is called integration. Okay. And if I run into my local machine, it is useful for only me. But I want to give it to someone else or I want to show it to the client. Okay. There should be some medium. As I told you, I can't take my laptop all everywhere. So there should be some way where I can show all these codings, all these executions, so that they can also see from their end or on the or some kind of server. There where we need this Jenkins with CI, continuous integration. So whatever you write, you will take the help of version control systems like GitHub and Bitbucket to push your code. So once a code is pushed, there will be a trigger from Jenkins. Okay. Now, most probably as a tester, we will come with continuous integration until unless you don't have a job with continuous deployment. Continuous deployment will be done by higher official levels, higher authorized people. Okay? Highly skilled people will go for continuous deployment and continuous delivery. So the difference between delivery and deployment is that continuous delivery, like you will be having an environment same as production. Deployment means directly deploying into the production and going live so that the customers or clients can use that. Sorry, the users can use that. Okay, not only customers, all the end users will use those things. That is deployment, deploying into the actual server, in the actual environment, production environment. But before that, simply we will not go and deploy everything. There will be some environment where we have to check whether it is working fine or not, the same as the production environment. You can have staging environment also for that. So that is called, so whenever you write a code, whenever you do a continuous pushing, pulling, everything is done. When we push our code or when the trigger is happening and we are checking, right? So that is called continuous delivery. An environment where we will see the same features, the same, everything will be same replica of the production. Once it is working fine in delivery, continuous delivery thing, after continuously delivering thing, once it is working in that particular, and it can be a staging environment or it can be some other name we can give it. Okay, replica environment, you just imagine that. So if it is working fine in the replica environment, then the continuous deployment will be happened. So this can be in two ways. But at some level, suppose staging, we have staging environment, which will be similar or very much same as a production environment. So QA will be testing into our staging environments. Whenever now over here you can see https teams microsoft.com/v2. This is like a production environment. When you have staging environment, you will have teams.stg or teams. Some other name you will have. So with that name, we can identify it as a staging environment. If you have dev,
Aarti, have you shared screen?
yeah, I hope I'm in Teams only.
Yeah,
No,
Yes,
you're in.
Siri,
Yes.
Aarti is showing the same URL which is showing
No,
on
I'm
top.
here.
Teams.microsoft. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now, this is the thing. Fine. This is like a production environment now. We are the users and we are using it. Suppose if you have any staging environment, means you will have stg dot something, which means we have to understand it is a staging environment. Suppose it is a dev, it will be in this way. So by the name itself, we can identify in which environment we are in. Okay. Yeah. So suppose the same teams I'm having in stage environment. So it will be in STG. Whatever I'm saying now, it will be exactly same over there. So they will give us that environment to test it and find the bugs, log the bugs, whatever things you have to do it, we can do it over there. So once it is done, we will retest it. Okay, or it will come to the regression test. Regression test means if I'm adding some other new, like suppose raise, I'm adding it, and widget called raise, if I'm adding it, then I'll go for regression testing. So these two should not be affected. Chat and people should not be affected. So that I will check it in the, they will develop in the dev environment. They will push their code. We will pull that, and we will check in the STG, staging environment. So this continuous things will happen into the Jenkins. Okay, and Jenkins, we can take the help of GitHub version control, where we can uh, set like whenever there is a push or pull in. So I will be pushing my code in GitHub, not to Jenkins. Okay, remember that. Jenkins is just execution purpose kind of thing. GitHub is to store something like Ram asked, like, can we zip it? Okay, whatever is in a local machine, okay, we can do it. But what if someone, because you are not only the testers, there will be a lot of testers, a lot of QA peoples will be there. So we can't store all their codes, right? We can't ask them to give their codes and store in the zip format or in some other format. So there where this version control system stands. I'll show you one GitHub. Okay, it's working. Okay, so this is GitHub. Okay, now this is just a dummy one which I have created. So see, here I'm having some PDF files and some Python files, PyCharm files. Now imagine here I'm having I can say this is one branch of QA. Okay, great branch. And okay, so imagine create branch. Okay, now imagine these two peoples along with, okay, I am QA and along with me another person is working. These two other people, and these are the files from here. Now imagine that QA2 has this file orange HRM. I am having this RTSD file. Okay, now when you come to this environment, all the files will be visible. I can take this file as well. Another person, this QA at the rate, can take this file and this file as well. So we can pull our code. So from here, this is like a repository where all the things will be stored. See, 5 minutes ago, I have committed something. So rather than storing is same, it will same work as a compressed file, but we will be using over here. We will be pulling all our codes from here. So if I pull this from here, I will get this file, and this file as well. If the other person is pulling the code, means he or she will get all the 3 files. So whoever machine you go and view, whatever is in the repository, everything will be reflected in everyone's machine. Okay. In case, suppose now my PDF file is deleted into my local machine. No worries. I can come here. Again, I can pull the particular file or particular code from here. No need to worry about that. Everything is stored in the server. Everything is stored in the cloud. So this is where this GitHub stands. Now, how this Jenkins works. Now I'm pushing something from here. Just imagine I have pushed this file newly. So I will instruct Jenkins that whenever I am pushing something, the trigger should happen. It should execute. Now you might have been executing in local machines, right? Eclipse, right click, run as Java, like that you will be executing. But no more execution over there now. If you introduce Jenkins, everything you should execute from Jenkins only. Okay, for that I'll open Jenkins now. Just remember, Git is a version control system where like this we will have a number of branches we will be having. Whoever writes the code, they will push into their branches only. Okay, don't go for that. So what I'm trying to say is, this is a version control system. If something gets wrong, we can get it from here. Okay, at the same time, we should not touch the master branch. This will be done by our higher officials or whoever is responsible in the project at high level. Always we should touch our, suppose this is my branch, I will work only with this only. I will not go to others also. But whatever they are having, I will have into my machine as well. Okay. Then I'm coming with Jenkins now. I'll just open my Jenkins. No worries if you have not installed Jenkins, we will see tomorrow. Today I'll give a hands-on this Jenkins.
Yeah.
So first try to degrade to Java 17.
Yeah.
Okay, now actually the command is java-jar jenkins.var. Okay, but as of now, I will use another commands that you please don't go for it. I mean, I'll explain that later because I'm having all my codes in this only. So I'm using this command. So this is my war file name. With this only you have to start your Jenkins. So it is started initializing. So before that, if you give localhost 8080, it will not work. The reason is my server is not up and running. Okay.
The major difference between the other tools and Jenkins is like, so if you wanted to use Jenkins, you should have your server up and running. So whereas you have the other tools, Selenium, GitHub, whatever the tools that you're using, those doesn't require any server to be up and running. Only the difference that makes from the other tools with this Jenkins is we need to have this server up and running. Then only you will be able to access the tool and you can have the execution stuff. This is the major difference from the other tools that you can make it as a note. So once if you see the message as Jenkins is up and running, then you can access the localhost. It is not only the point that you need to have it in localhost 8080. Usually we prefer it to be in 8080. You can make it out at your convenience as well. So then you'll be able to access the Jenkins. Sorry for the interruption, Nati.
No, sir. So, see, for example, I'll show what Saujanya said in practical way. I'm closing this. Okay. If I try to access this, it will say me the site can't be reached, which means you have to understand that your Jenkins is not working properly. I mean, the server is not there. Okay. So if I go here, 1 second.
So in order to have this server up and running, you need to go to the place where you have your Jenkins configured, and from there you need to open the command prompt, and in this command prompt, if you give this command, it will make the server up and running. Once after seeing the message Jenkins is fully up and running, you can go back there.
See, I got this. Sign in. Okay. So, as Saujanya said, I have configured my Jenkins in this folder. My war file is over here. Okay. Jenkins now is my war. So this name you should give it when you're running your server, when you're executing your Jenkins to that server. So Jenkins, you can see here, Jenkins now dot what. If you just give another name, it will not execute. So it is Java -jar Jenkins now dot what. You can not only you can give other names also. This is my war file I have downloaded from the Google, and it is in my downloads. So this is what Saujanya was trying. So wherever, not only necessary it should be in downloads, it can be in CED, wherever you want, you can keep it. But you should be over here, type CMD, it will take you to this file. Here you can see. In this way, you have to open your Jenkins with the command java-jar jenkins now.war, which is my war file name. Once you see this message, you can go for localhost 8080. Some clients will give their own ports also, and some will say, I don't want to see 8080 run in some other port. This is a local host, normal ports where we run Jenkins. As of now, we will be using this only. So once you open this, actually, for the first time, for you, it will be very blank. Nothing will be there over here. Okay, as I have traded jobs, it is in this way for me. But whenever you download Jenkins from Google, I mean this one, war files from Google, and you open with the command, you will be having a dashboard in this way. Okay. Then after coming to the dashboards, we will be having few widgets like dashboard with new item, build history, manage Jenkins, my views. Then you have a logout button here and your profile here. Okay. Now, when we come to new items, you can see few projects like this. Okay, till this, any doubts you have?
Yeah. Aarti, can we, how can we change the port number? I mean, do we, when, as you said, when the client asks to land on something, some other port, how
Yes.
do we
You
change
have
it,
to
Aarti?
change here. Instead of 8080,
Okay.
you have to give some other port. Okay, but till now,
Okay. I
you
mean,
haven't
so
switched
can we use any number? And there will be some specified ports for some of the servers, isn't it? Like
No, while
3000.
practicing, you can go for 8080 only, Jenkins.
Okay.
Else we have 8081, some other ports also I have seen. Okay, but for
Okay.
practicing purpose, you can go for Jenkins's default port for Jenkins will be 8080. Default,
Right. Super. Hmm.
yes.
Okay. I mean, if we want to change it, like, does someone tell us the
Yes,
port
yes, they
number?
will give you
Or
all the requirements. Yes, no, you don't need to
oh,
worry.
okay, okay.
All the
Yeah,
requirements
yeah.
will be given by them. They will guide you how to do it. If you don't know, everything will be done by the clients only. If you
Okay,
have
got it,
virtual
Aarti.
machines now, yeah, if you
Yeah.
have virtual machines, the DevOps teams will guide you.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
And Aarti, what does this war file contains?
This
What
war
does
file,
it contain?
yeah, when we were learning Maven, I have told you that when you want to send it to the local peoples, you will install it. When you are giving to the
Yeah.
outside world, we will deploy it.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So
Yeah.
war files is like for worldwide. Everyone can use anywhere. Not only this Indian people
Oh,
can use this. They can use in
okay.
US. So it's all worldwide. Okay, that is called
Okay.
.war files. You have that extensions also, I guess.
Yeah, jar, war, and we have
War
seen something else in Maven.
differences also you can see.
Yeah,
Jar
sure.
files will package multiple files. War files will have web applications
Web
worldwide.
application.
We can share it all over because this Jenkins will not be used by limited peoples, right? So it is like an
Yeah,
application. Everyone can use that. So
right.
these all differences you can see here. Packaging and distributing for standalone computers. That is jar file.
Okay.
War
Hmm.
files are for web distribution.
Web application. Okay.
Okay.
Got it,
Yes.
Aarti. Yeah. Thanks, Aarti.
Yes. Okay. So any doubts apart from this? Okay. So I'll continue. As we can see, they may ask in some interviews, they may ask, in one of the interview they have asked me recently, like what elements or what widgets you can see in the Jenkins. So if you're not sure about what is that widgets or what is the elements, you can ask them, may I know what you are expecting to the interviewer? I mean, in a polite way. So his expectation was from me was, what are the items I can see in the Jenkins, like new item, build history, manage Jenkins. This was expected from the interviewer to me. Then I explained all these things. Okay. Like in new item, we will be having few types like freestyle project, Maven, pipeline, multi-configure and folder types. Okay. For any type of practicing purpose, we will use free projects, freestyle projects.
Mhm.
Suppose you're having a framework and we are using Maven, right? At that time, you can go for Maven projects. Build a Maven project. Jenkins take advantage of your POM files and reduces the configuration, drastically reduces the configuration. Okay. Then coming to pipeline, where we will be having a pipeline. We will set a pipeline, continuous integration, continuous delivery or deployment will happen. At that time, you can use this pipeline. Pipeline in the sense, for example, I'm having 4 to 5 files into my job. Okay. This is called a job. I'll tell you. For example, I'll just go here. For example, I'm having 4 to 5 test cases into my file. And I'm saying that if my first test cases pass, then only go on towards the second test case. In a pipeline, I have set the pipeline in that way. So my first test case will be dependent on, second test case will be dependent on the first test case. Okay. So after execution of first test case, second test case will execute. Then third will execute. Then fourth. So that is called a pipeline. Once it is executed, everything is fine. They will go for the next phase. So this is called a pipeline. We're setting a pipeline. Okay. As of now, uh, this is not needed for learning purpose. You can go only for freestyle projects. Okay, and this is suitable for large amount of projects. Okay, for example, we're having a multiple environments. It's platform based or like dev environment or staging or multiple environments. So these two we will not touch. These, okay, we are having multiple branches and organization code. So these are all very much at a deeper level. For this and all, we need to have a good knowledge. DevOps need to have a good knowledge. As a tester, we should have a need. So these all things are done by the DevOps peoples actually. They will help us in understanding all these things. But as of now, we will go with freestyle. Freestyle and Maven project somewhere else. Pipeline also we can set, but again, as of now, not required. So freestyle. So once you click on the freestyle, you can give your project name as. Okay. And if you click, select it. And if you click OK, so you will have a job done created in this way. If you go to the dashboard, you can see the job is created for me now. So this is how you will create the job. Okay. So whenever you receive a build, you will go to this job, you will configure whatever you want and you will execute. So first step we have completed. We have created a freestyle job where nothing will be integrated. It will be like a manual trigger. No integrations will be there. Like pipeline will not be set, multiple projects will not, nothing. A freestyle. If you go here, general purpose job. Okay. That will check from SCM or execute builds. Okay, this will come later. So it's a general purpose job. A normal way, a default way. Now, when you open this, you will see in this way. Now, I have created a job. Now, what my job is, I want to execute the code which is present into my Eclipse. Okay, so for that, we need to do, okay, when we learned Maven, we did some configurations. Do you remember? When
Yeah,
we did Maven,
Yes, yes, yes.
I want to execute from test.ng, ngxml. So there we did some configurations. Yes,
Yeah.
so that was connecting Maven with test.ng.
Yes.
Now, how I will say Jenkins to connect with my Maven. Okay, that is the configuration part we will come with. Always configuration means what? Instructing. Whatever tool we are using, we are instructing it to happen in this way. So configuring, configuration, configuring something. Okay, so in configuration, we can see the tabs like general, source code management, build trigger, build environment, build steps, post build actions. Till this, is it clear? Like whenever you want to start your Jenkins, you have to first download your WAR files. Okay, from WAR files, wherever your WAR file is there, whatever name you give, you have to start your Jenkins over there. If you don't start this server, and if you just go and click to a default port, it will show you site not available or site can't be configured. That error you will be having. So your command prompt should always be opened. Sometimes due to some reason, your Jenkins will be stopped. At that time also it will throw the error. So immediately you have to jump to your command prompt and see what is actually happening into the server. Is it closed or any error is occurred, or you have to check it. Okay. Till then, you will not have any issue using Jenkins. First step is done. Second step, you are in the dashboard. After coming to the dashboard, we have to create our jobs with new item. What job? It can be now as for learning purpose. So we are using the general purpose job. Before that, tomorrow when you come, you should say me what is a job. We are saying job. So what is a job? Okay. As of now, I'll use the word job, but you have to tell me what is job.
Okay, Aarti.
Yes. Right. So I have created a job for me, which is this demo job. After creating job, the fourth step is I have to configure something so that I can pick up my test case from Eclipse and execute in this environment, in this Jenkins. In the localhost 8080, I can execute it. So for that, I have to instruct something to Jenkins. Okay, that is called configuration. Configuring, building up something, configuring something to start up my execution. So first it will take us to the general tab. General means generally we can give all the datas. I'll come one by one. Okay. Secondly, we will see with source code. So when you click here, it will take you to the source code tab. Now source code management is nothing but version control systems. We know, right? I told about Git. So if you click on this Git, I closed my Git. Okay, if I give this URL, Control C, okay, over here. So it is asking me, please enter the repository name. Okay, some error is there. Okay, I'll see. So if you give this and this environment, you have to this repository name, this URL, you have to give it. So if I give this URL over here with the credentials, if I have mentioned any, and if I add to the Jenkins with some of the, okay, this is a long process. You have to give username and password, all those things. Just imagine if you have added this, what this will do is it will directly pick up. Now I have told, right? So I'll be writing some code into my Eclipse. I will be sending that to that process is different. Okay, just imagine. Okay, I have wrote something into my Eclipse and I have pushed my code and it will appear here. Suppose Java code 2 I have written, so here it will appear below this orange HRM. Okay, now pushing is done. So what Jenkins will do? So it has sensed that something has been pushed and it will start the execution automatically. This is where the source code management stands. We need not to do anything. It will pick up the code from there automatically and it will start executing. So as of now, for us as a freestyle project, this is not required. I'll not go with that. But this is the source code management, GitHub. Okay, then coming to build trigger. Build trigger is nothing but we have, as I've told you in the first class, we have three types of triggering, right? We can do it manually. We can do it like I want every 8 p.m. this thing to be happen, and or else we can go with this thing on commit basis. Like whenever there is a push or pull in the code, the trigger should happen automatically. So there where we come with build trigger. Build trigger remotely. Build after other projects are built, like that pipeline. If we set now one project is built and go for the other time. Periodically means every 8 p.m. or weekly once or twice in that way. This is for GitHub. And this poll SCM I have never used, so I'm not sure of this. But this is a build trigger format. Then coming to build environment. This as of now, we are not in need of build environment, so we will skip this. Mainly, we need build steps. If I go to this is, I'll just show you one of my job where you can see the, okay, in deep we will go it later. Just see the tags here. So whatever you want to configure, configuration will keep tomorrow. So once you download the Jenkins, it will be easy for me to teach you. As you're not having Jenkins in your machine, I'm not going much deeper. So these are the elements you're having, or these are the widgets or elements you're having in the Jenkins in the configuration tab. General, source code, build trigger, environment, steps, and post action. Build steps are nothing but you will instruct whether your build is coming from Maven or some other place. Okay, that build steps you will instruct it. Then post action. After building, we need to generate reports. So for that, all the reporting systems, we will keep it under post build actions. Okay, so generally, whatever you want to discuss, or sorry, whatever you want to configure, you can do it in the general tab. If you want to configure from GitHub, you can choose this option. If you want to trigger with some conditions like periodically or from a GitHub or remotely, you can come with build triggers. If you are having some environment specification, you can come with this. Suppose you want to run with Ant. Ant is another. Do you have any idea what is Ant?
And
We heard in
we
Maven,
compared it with Maven. Yeah.
Maven,
Hmm.
Gradle, no, and
Okay. So there might be a chance of asking differences. What is and other tools or other management systems also. Okay. Then coming to build steps, we will see what is build step. We are going to build some step in order to trigger our execution. So after everything is completed, I need the reporting system, reports. So for that, we will go with post build actions. Once my job is built, executed, I will come with post build action. So these are the major elements which you are going to work on whenever you create a job. Okay, so today, please maximum have have an Jenkins into your machine with Java 17 will be best, I guess. I'm having Java 17 only, so I think so that will work fine. Okay, I'm having 17, so 17 should work fine with you all for the Jenkins because it is working
Okay,
into my.
Aarti.
Okay,
Okay.
then yeah, so these two prerequisites you should have. Eclipse and Jenkins. Eclipse we have already. Maven a job also we have. So from your the requirement is Jenkins now. Okay, so if you have Jenkins, then we can go for these configurations. What is each tab, and what is this? We while we configure something, we need some extra plugins also for reporting systems to configure the reports. Okay, at that time we will see the plugins as well. So for that, I need Jenkins into your machines. So holistically, like overall, can you understand what is Jenkins and for what we are using this?
Yes, Aarti.
Or any doubts? So once you start Jenkins, definitely you will come to know the usage of that.
Okay, Aarti.
Saujanya, do you like to add any pointers to this, Saujanya?
I'll just take 2 minutes. If you are done, you can drop. I'll just continue after 2 minutes. I need to discuss few pointers. I got
Okay,
a call. Just give me 2 minutes.
Yes, yes. So team, so this is an overview. Continuous integration will be the QA main part. Okay, and continuous deployment. I hope I gave you an idea. Delivery